Hey everybody, welcome back to Northernlion plays the Binding of Isaac Afterbirth Plus, where we're in a good rhythm, 16 wins in a row. This is gonna be, like the Forgotten? Yeah, the Forgotten again. You know what, it's a good opportunity for comeuppance, but in like a good way. GK08, KV77. We didn't play very well on our last Forgotten run, and, we haven't played very well on this one so far either. But we benefit from, you know, being about 20 seconds into it in the whole scheme of things, you know. Taking a couple of hits that is easily replenished, not really a big problem. But we would be wise to nut up a little bit. Happy to get Juicy Sack, by the way. A decent item. But I wanted to actually talk more about the fact that I feel like we're in a good rhythm so far. Like, I feel on that 40 streak, we were in a good rhythm. And we ran into trouble, for sure. We ran into a run that had, you know, few future prospects. It was a big issue. We lost. And then since then, until now, we've struggled to put together anything, you know, on the good side of coherent, I guess. This is our first real exception. Inching closer and closer to win 20. Not as attached to it, because at any point, we could roll a... That was not a good bit of damage there, but at any point, we could roll a character that could put it all into a tizzy. But I feel very good about our rhythm right now. I feel like we recognize, you know, when to give, when to take, and when a run is supposed to, you know, leverage its future in order to pop, and when a run is supposed to not leverage its future, and instead, you know, just accept that, you know, at some points, you know, you got enough damage. You don't need it a little extra. Even though it might be nice. I'm happy with where we're at here. All I wanted to say before we moved on is that, what did I tell you about the freaking marbles, dude? Bag of marbles has shown up, like, literally, probably on our last 10 runs. It's been one of our first 2 items, like, 4 times. I'm not really complaining, because it's novel, it's got an interesting effect, there's long-term prospects, but I'm kind of complaining because it's not statistics, you know? It's not attributes. And at the end of the day, that's okay, but there was ever a time where you needed rate of fire, damage, speed, HP, you know, it's early. And also late. And sometimes in the middle as well. But in particular early on, you know, it helps you set the tone for the rest of the run. So getting a trinket was fine. But in the end, we get petrified poop and an effect on on damage, I should say. Not on combat, but an effect on damage that we hope will be interesting, but really can't say for certain. Ace of clubs. Can't quite reach that. There's a lot of value in storing our strength card. Ace of clubs, on the other hand, I mean, we were doing okay. So I think the Locust of Conquest is a big one. And if anything, that just goes to illustrate, again, I don't want to get like too mad about it, obviously, because it's a video game. But we, just through random luck, got something that almost invalidated what I would say was probably the single biggest value of Gulp, at least early. You know, just by happening to encounter a better trinket through luck, you know, all of a sudden, the effect of the marbles is, like, pseudo-irrelevant. But anyway, I'm not complaining, I'm just... You know, the more Isaac we play, I do like to, on occasion, bring up, you know, how I feel about items, how that feeling changes over time. It's, you know, when you got a series that goes on this long, we're lucky, you know? It's kind of like Larry King. I might not be the most skilled at my job, but just by virtue of having been around forever, I've got something that's interesting to say from time to time. No offense, Larry, but also... I mean, sort of. I'm just putting it, let me put it this way. If you were looking for somebody to interview, you know, give a hard-hitting interview to, like, the President of the United States, for example, you would not look to Larry King. And that's okay. If you're looking for somebody to interview Ben Schwartz about what it means to play Sonic the Hedgehog, that's when you look to Larry King. Now, The only thing, I love what we've gotten here. The only thing I don't like about getting a Polyon, and it's, again, like a custom-baked effect, I guess, for the Forgotten, is that we no longer have any red hearts. So we really would very much like to replenish our red hearts as soon as possible, but this run is unlike, and in contrast to a lot of the ones we've had going on recently, like immediately doing great stuff for us. 8 damage, plus guaranteed flies, plus a lot of spiders. Like, I didn't even mention plus finger, which until now was like, you know, just a little bit of extra damage now and then. Nobody's complaining, but now is like an actual, you know, destroyer of worlds. It has become death, destroyer of worlds. We got a really good setup. And to be honest with you, you know, I think we deserve one. Yeah, cause baby, I'm worth it. But really, you know, we've had I wouldn't say a rough, that hurts. I wouldn't say we've had a rough go of it necessarily, but you know, we've had some runs that have not gotten to that classic Isaac level of like we win by the end of it. They've been problematic. Hello, Tomo, welcome. Tomo. Yeah, just a little meow, huh, Tomo? Tomo. You didn't hear that one. He was licking his lips. He went like, meow. Tomo. There you go. You hear that one? Just a little meow from Tomo. Hello, my son. I like to give Tomo attention when he wants attention. It's like the opposite of Ruka. Don't cry for Ruka. I give that cat so much attention. It'd make your head spin. But Tomo, most of the time, he's my more reserved son. He doesn't want attention. So when he wants attention, he comes into the room and goes like, hey, I'm Tomo. I'm like, you know, I like to give him a chance to say his piece. I don't know if he knows what he's doing when he's meowing. I mean, imagine it's almost like a Pavlovian thing where, like, you know, he comes into the room and I go, Tomo, and then when he meows, I pet him. And he's like, I understand this. But, oh, jeez.
Speed.
Why not, you know? All right, there's an assortment of 4 very bad pills. Or 4 very bad pills we took, and then one we said, no thank you to. But yeah, I mean, we have not had some, like, classic, strong, super powerful, guaranteed wins in quite some time. And I'm not complaining, because, I mean, we are 16 wins up, you know? Which is really, really good. By my standards, especially. But, you know, at the same time, feels nice to be back in kind of the Isaac wheelhouse. You know, we haven't had many Mom's Knife Brimstone runs along. I mean, it's only been 16 runs. It's a relatively small sample size in the whole scheme of things, but I think you understand where I'm coming at this one from. And I didn't even have to ask, because in my head I was like, I know we're going to beat the odds. Even though we're on 9%. Plus, I asked for a Brimstone run. Ask and ye shall receive, my man. We now have Brimstone Bone, which is a very, very interesting combo. I don't even know if it's that good, but it's very cool. Like, let's see, what's the damage like? Extraordinary. Not to mention, it's a little weird that Incubus is not shooting beams, but, you know, I'm not going to hold it against it. The damage is actually fantastic. This is a cool run. I'm happy to be a part of it. All right. So let's peep the secret room. That's basically what Spelunker's Hat exists here for. And I'll try a little magic mush sort of setup. I'll take a mini mush. These bomb placements are very lazy. Could do way better symmetrically. Hematemesis, totally fine by me. This is actually, it's weirdly thematically similar to our last run as the Forgotten. We are leveraging our HP for future prospects. The difference is, defensively, we have very little on offer on this run, but in contrast to our previous run, offensively, this is at least like 5 times better, especially when you consider like where we're at in the run so far. So like, there's no complaints whatsoever to offer. All I'm saying is, if there's one thing we're mildly concerned about, it would be HP, but, you know, there's no reason to be concerned about it until we demonstrate that we're actually, like, gonna get hit. By the way, we don't have to... Oh, I really thought we could make it out of that one. We don't have to, resort to using our, beams. We could just smack them. And we still got great damage on the smack, so, like, don't forget about that. 36.25% deal with the devil chance. Let's not forget, we basically, I didn't even touch upon it, but it is ridiculous. We are extraordinarily lucky to have gotten Brimstone. It was like a 1 in 11 chance on the boss fight, so we basically, I mean, I wouldn't say we won the lottery, but, you know, it's like being selected to win something in a high school class or something like that. You know, there's 3 winners. You're one of the 3 winners. The odds weren't great, but hey, somebody's got to win. Here we are. Second secret room? I guess we would see, right? Yeah, so obviously not. Walking on Sunshine, Explosive Diarrhea, Strength. We'll hold on to Strength. Very easy, like, guaranteed boss fight there. And no, that means we never get spacebar items. I mean, now I'm kind of getting up my own butt here. But there might be a case for this. I know it sounds ridiculous. But hear me out. Maybe by never getting spacebar items... I mean, what's more useful? This is not a fair question. Because I was gonna say a decent stat upgrade or a useless spacebar item. Okay, what's more useful? A bad passive item. I'm gonna buy it for like literally no reason, I guess. A bad passive item or a good spacebar item. See, like you can construct the bit however you see fit to make the point you're trying to make. It doesn't prove anything implicitly. Valid point. I don't know. I'm just holding it because it's weird, you know? And anything that... once you get the damage coefficient and the HP coefficient relatively sorted on a run, I find myself trying to amp up that weirdness coefficient as much as possible. You know, I want to hit peak strangeness. I want to have runs that I've never seen before. Not just to show them off, but also, you know, because it makes it more interesting for me as well. Like, I call it like I see it in this day and age. There may have been a point, I don't know, back in like 2012, where when I was doing an Isaac episode, even if it, you know, the run kind of sucked, I'd be like, boy, this is a real interesting one. I don't think I've ever really been that sort of guy, but, you know, certainly not for a long time. But now, I mean, there was like few runs ago, I was like, I just kind of I don't even care about winning this one anymore. I had to recognize that impulse inside of myself and be like, you know what, just grow up for like 10 minutes, win the run, and then you can be like, that sucked. You know, don't succumb to your base level impulses and be like, you know, just give up on this run just because it didn't give you Brimstone, right? That's not really fair to anybody. But, you know, you can rely on me to call it like I see it at the very least. I do not want that. So, a run like this, you know, it's interesting so far. If it could get even more interesting, that would be cool. Now, we will be able to steal an item from Boss Rush. Whether or not we will do so depends on a couple of different factors here. One is, do we... you know what, at this point, let's do that. Do we find the boss fight before the item room in the shop? Never mind, this doesn't make sense, because the Emperor card does not teleport us out of Boss Rush. That's something I shouldn't be making mistakes on. And I mean, I guess thankfully I didn't, but I shouldn't be making mistakes on this late in my Isaac career. Or this many years into my Isaac career, because who knows, this could still be early. The jury's out. You know, we hit a point, I think I told you, but probably many times in the past, but when I first started making the Isaac series, I did thumbnails up to 10, and I was like, man, I can't possibly fathom needing more than 10 thumbnails for Isaac. I have, you know, now I'm making 1,200, and I do feel the need to point out, because I was when I hit episode 1,000, people were very nice, but I also think people were like, you know, wow, I can't believe it, 1,000 episodes of Isaac. And I'm like, no, you got it all twisted up. There's actually like 3,000 episodes of Isaac across like 4 different names. It's just the DLC has almost always come out, or literally until recently always come out by like episode 980. You know, we get super close and never quite finish the job. So now I'm like, I don't know. What's gonna happen first? Stopping playing Isaac or getting to 10,000 episodes? I got no idea. You know, I got no clue. I won't bet against Isaac at this point. That's a game. You know, this is for realsies, the last update we're gonna make. Surprise, we were just kidding. I'm not mad about it. That would be, I mean, very foolhardy, considering I love the game and it's also, you know, my job. But I will not bet against the longevity of this game at this point. Don't step on the spikes. We actually could ruin our deal with the Devil Chance. And I would rather not. Between everything we got going on here, and I'm talking about, like, Finger's a big one, for sure. But the spiders are helpful. You know, our own individual shots, man, that was a waste of time. We got a really impressively powerful but also strange run. In a good way. Okay. You know, I'm gonna take compost. Try this on for size. I'm not that mad about that, to be honest. And, you know what? Give me mom's key. I still, you know, I don't use compost properly. And, I think you are probably well aware of that fact. One of the people we got going on in here. Pills. Pills. Pills, 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 pills. Be a much different show if it was Pill Nye the Science Guy. Sponsored by GlaxoSmithKline. Wait, let's rephrase. Sponsored by Pfizer. There you go. I had to be... If you're gonna make a joke like that, you gotta go with the more relatable, big pharmaceutical company. You can't be like, sponsored by Valiant. You know, there's a Canadian pharmaceutical company that hasn't existed for a little while. Facing pending legislation. Or litigation, sorry. Okay. Polaroid. Sack Dagger. I don't think it's worth it, honestly. And then here, you know, if I'm leveling with you, there's a chance that Fate's Reward would be, like, fun. But, I don't really see it as being that interesting. At this point, the Emperor card, just in getting us to this boss fight faster, boss fights faster, really, is so much more advantageous for us. Polydactyl has given us the sun, which is also amazing. So this run is going to pick up in speed in a big way. And this is one of those ones where I do feel the need to defend myself to some extent. This is going to be a very short run, win, lose, or draw. What's a draw in Isaac context? It's when you fight the void, because everybody loses. I'm joking. Get over it. Anyway, but I really think that on this run, you know, the way we win is by going fast. So I don't mean to finish the run super quickly, but I do think that, you know, our HP resources are not bad, but it behooves us to... I mean, if we can skip what essentially amounts to two floors full of rooms that are not likely to do much for us, I think, you know, that's the way we proceed. If we want to make it most likely for us to be victorious. Don't shoot the messenger. Extremely great payout from that first chest. I have turned all of the other chests into spiders, and I apologize. That one's my bad. Forgot about that aspect of, yeah, I mean... You get the idea. We didn't need the golden bomb there. I'd rather have one fly than a golden bomb. In that situation. In that unique situation. still safe. Thank you. Don't know why, it's to the tune of pure imagination. Bad place to stand. I'll tell you what, I got a good idea. Why don't we go back in here and then pull a little in? Okay, we're good to go. All right. Now, don't be too surprised by what I'm about to say. I know I say it on most runs, but there is a there's a loss lurking inside of this win. It's related to hubris. It's related to not having that much HP. But what it is definitely not related to is DPS output. We actually almost lost our last Forgotten run on the very boss fight that ended the game. Just from not being able to use our melee lord anymore. And you know, like, our Brimstone run, if we have to go like full ranged build, is certainly not bad, but it wouldn't be my preferred way to handle it. Okay, so I don't think this is going to do anything. I really doubt this is going to do anything, but... Okay. It didn't do much, by the way, but Jacob's Ladder does affect the Incubus, I guess, so that's pretty cool. The damage output is extremely cool. This has got to go down as one of the better Forgotten runs we've had recently. I wouldn't say very famously, because nothing I've said has been very famous. But I did remark once that it should, basically, if you're a good Isaac player, it should more or less be impossible for you to lose a run as the Forgotten. I no longer believe that. That was the hubris talking. And I've lost some probably very winnable runs as the Forgotten that, you know, speak to that. But simultaneously, it is a pretty easy character to win as, even if I have been making some pretty bad mistakes, you know, over the course of my existence. So just don't screw this one up. The way you screw it up the most is by forcing yourself to go on the ranged build. You already lost one Bone Heart. That was very, very unnecessary. All you need to do to straighten up and fly right on this one is, like, literally don't walk into enemies, and you will probably be completely fine. The damage output is so ridiculous. That really, like... Oh my god, did you see the... I've never looked at Evil Eye like that. It's an eye that sends out its own weird little bonies. Or, well, like its own bone hits. It's kind of cool. It seems likely we're going to get to 17 wins in a row. Which is where, usually... I start to apologize, and I start to say things like, I don't know how it happened. Guys, I'm sure it's not going to last forever. I'm real sorry about all these wins. Nah. Screw that. It's the birth of a new era where we're unabashed. We got a unique infusion, an alloy consisting of equal parts Zane and competency. It's a new world, baby. Oh. That was meant to be radioactive by Imagine Dragons, but I can't sing very well. I can't sing very well. Easy wins. We can get hit several times before being relegated to range resin. Very simple victory. Very short victory, but a fun one nonetheless. That takes us to 17 wins in a row, and I'm feeling good. For now, thanks for watching. Hope you guys have enjoyed the episode. If you did, click the like button. It helps a great deal. Of course, subscribe if you want to see more in the future. For now, thanks for watching, and I will see you next time. See ya!